Four comedians are also real good friends, working on jokes, the fun never ends. They're asking each other, is this anything?
But fatty with a PH.
Yeah, my liver is so
pretty
fat.
hot and liver.
It is so fat, yo.
Pretty hot and triglycerides.
I feel like I'm talking to a bunch of kids trying to be cool.
Who grew into adults trying to be cool.
Or adults trying to be kids.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to say. It's like when I asked Steve what no cap meant, and he was like, oh no, when you don't wear a hat?
I know no cap. I know no cap.
I just learned it recently.
What's no cap?
Probably no explanation.
No bullshit.
Yeah, capping means lying.
Yeah.
Capping?
Yeah, if you he capping.
And where does that come from? Is there an etymology for capping?
It was in hip-hop culture, I think, in the 90s, maybe the 80s. I actually looked it up because I worked on the show Wild 'N Out, and so I heard that a lot. And so I knew about capping like years ago, but I was also like, where did this come from? And so I Googled it, and so yeah, it has its derivation in old hip-hop culture, and some new rappers, younger rappers, started using it again as sort of like an homage to, like the classics. Oh. That is what I remember from the internet video that I watched.
But do we know where it came from? Like what root words is like, oh, okay, I can see how that came to be.
Are you taking notes on this?
Do not remember.
Yeah. I'm trying to, I need to be cool by weekend.
It's a pop quiz.
No cap, guys. I'm serious.
So when somebody says, I'm going to bust a cap in your ass, they're saying, I'm going to bust a lie in your ass?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Wait, no?
No.
I'm hungry, so can I eat some Lion Crunch? Is that, am I doing this right?
Yeah. You're ready for the streets, Rob.
Backwards hat.
Just be sitting there with my Cap'n Crunch, be like, what?
Cap'n Crunch is funny though. That I feel like there's something there. I feel like you could really Cap'n Crunch. Yeah. No, he's not really crunching. It doesn't really crunch. When you add the milk, then it's Cap'n Crunch.
Right. I'm gonna come out with no Cap Crunch. That way everyone knows I'm serious.
It's your female.
Leedy hearing this is like, I gotta get some more paper. This is
This is too much to draw.
Too funny.
I do take notes on the shows that I draw, and they always look so ridiculous. I can't believe. Like, I'm so excited for what this is gonna turn into.
Oh yeah. Great. When after that you show us the drawings today, will you also show us the notes?
Yes, I
that'd be
will.
great.
But I've already written one just to prepare. It just says toe.
That's great.
What a callback.
Can you guys hear my mom in the background? Should I tell her to stop?
Is she playing a xylophone?
She's playing a steel drum.
Oh,
is she really?
That's
yeah,
awesome.
she's a musician.
Okay. We can hear it a little bit, but
I'll tell her to shush.
No, I kind of like it. I like it.
Actually. Yeah.
This is gonna interfere with you guys' like talking though. I'm gonna tell her to shush really quick.
Oh,
no. Oh, man.
No.
A mom who plays the steel drums.
Let her play, as long as it's not
Dad
gonna,
plays percussion too. They have a duo where they play marimba and steel drums.
Oh, that's great.
That is the cutest thing I've ever heard.
Now you get a Leedy Corbin.
I thought we were going to stop her from... I mean, unless she starts playing like Disney songs and then the copyright infringement, they'll come after us on YouTube. Other than that, I don't mind.
I
drum in the background.
I don't mind losing the steel drums just to make sure that she doesn't play any copyrighted material.
She won't. The music she plays you would never have heard of.
Oh, okay. Well, she needs to practice sometime, otherwise she's not going to make any money on the subway platform.
So anything going on with anybody? What's new? How are you guys? I'm doing this weird.
Jarret, how are you?
Can you edit this out?
You know what? This week, I went home to see my dad, and he's got this old patio that needed some love. I will certainly say that. And
you fucked a patio?
very lonely quarantine for this patio. So now let's see if I can get this. Okay, this is what the patio looked like. All right, you see all that?
Okay.
Okay.
It's like an earthquake hit it.
Yeah, it's terrible. It's cracked up.
Looks like it needs some love.
Thanks, Anthony. You're totally right. So, started with a little bit of love. All right, we got some quick dry cement, and I paved up, patched up some of those cracks.
Or as Rob likes to call it, porch lube.
Are you saying Porsche?
We say, and then we painted it, and that is the. Oh, can I see that?
Oh.
Wow, that's great.
Yeah, look at that, and he is proud. Look at my Danny there; he looks all good to go. And that's it. So
He painted the entire patio just so he could show off his calves.
And that took us like 3 days. It was crazy.
Wow, that must
awesome.
have been very satisfying.
It was really sad, and it was one of these things where my dad's so hard to do nice things for. And maybe I don't know if you guys can, sort of relate to this, where you have a parent and they're so, you know they want good things, but they just refuse to let you help or let you do things with them or for them. And you really kind of, I'm flying dark always. I go and I'm like, hey, he's like, yeah, patio, it looks like crap, I'm like, yeah, well, we should do, we should get some, quick cement. We could patch it up, paint that thing. No, that's ridiculous. No, it's gonna take you forever. It's a lot of money. It's just no good. I'm like, yeah, but you don't like it, so why don't we just do it? Robert, it's like a 2-day project. When are we even gonna do that? It's like, I will come home. We'll figure it. Every step of the way, I am trying to explain to him why this is a good idea, why he's going to like this, because he openly and actively complains about how crappy it has become. And after all this fighting and pressure, we finally do it, fighting along the way. And then finally at the end, he's like, this is great. Oh man, I'm really glad we did this. And I'm like, but if I wasn't so tenacious, I could have stopped at any point along the way and you wouldn't have felt this feeling. And I just don't understand how to how to help parents.
I do have this experience of my parents, like, they wouldn't notice that was something that was wrong. The different thing is, like, your dad is like, I got to do something about that. It would just get really, really bad, and my parents would be, like, unhappy and not sure why. Oh. And then my brother and my sister and I would do, like, an overhaul project, and my dad would be like, you guys are incredible! And every time we just like move a desk around or something. Just vacuum.
He just bangs into the desk every single morning. He's so upset. He's so sad. He doesn't know why.
Yeah.
Rob, I didn't know that your dad was Bill Burr. Can you do your dad impression again?
It's unbelievable. Oh.
And I have that same thing where I get upset and I don't know why, but it's about eating. Yeah. I'll just get like really upset and I'll just be like, "Oh, I'm hungry."
Oh yeah,
that's it.
That took me a really long time to realize. Until I was 28, I didn't realize like. I had a moment where I was just like, everything was going really well and for me, and all of a sudden I was just like really concerned about my career and like comparing myself to others, doing all this like unhealthy stuff, and then I ate and I was like, oh. But it was the first time. I'm sure that's happened to me before, but that was the first time I noticed. It was like, oh, it was because I ate. That's why this was coming on from nowhere. I like called one of my friends and talked to him for an hour when I just needed to eat a sandwich.
Now you don't talk to your friends at all.
Yeah.
I don't need you. I have sandwich.
There was this great episode of South Park called Creme Fraiche where
oh yeah,
gets into cooking and he just becomes so obsessed with it. But then there's a B story about the shake weight when the shake weight was popular and how it was clearly just about, it just looked like it was you're jerking someone off. And so Stan's mom was into that and Stan's dad was into that. And those two stories merged where finally Stan's mom just gave Randy a hand job, which they called an old fashioned, by the way.
Oh, the old fashioned.
He's like, oh wow, an old fashioned. And then after he came, he was just like the obsession with the food thing stopped. She's like, don't you want to cook? He's like, oh no, it's stupid. That was the whole episode. It was so stupid.
feel like I'm never gonna watch this show now.
That episode or the entire show of South Park?
The entire show, South Park. No, I probably will. I take it. Just never have.
There's a lot to get through. It's like
Have
Yeah.
you never
like
watched South
17
Park?
seasons.
Never once. I'm very, very small, and I live under a rock. So,
Yeah, you have to be a certain height to watch it.
Yeah.
dang.
Yeah.
No,
must
I
be
just
this
keep
tall.
rewatching The Office. It's kind of a problem, actually.
I think
great show, too.
I've done that as well during the quarantine. I think I watched The Office 3 times.
I just can't do that. I can't. There's like 3 movies that I can rewatch, and then I can't reread a book. I can't rewatch a television show. If they're on, I might like, but I could never just like put it on.
Yeah. What are those 3 movies, by the way? Shawshank Redemption. What else? What are the other 2?
Okay. Terminator 2.
Jail.
And Medea Goes to Church.
I thought one of those was definitely going to be like the pilot you guys made for Jarrett's High movie. I had a High movie. Actually, I don't know if I stole this idea. I don't remember where I heard it. It's called The Amazing Racist, and it's where
Oh,
you
that's
text.
Ari Shafir.
Oh, is it? Is it
That's
already
what
a thing?
he used to go by The Amazing Racist. That was
Oh.
his thing
Oh, I didn't know that.
when he was being an edgy race comedian.
Interesting.
You stepped on our
Well,
joke.
this one's like a literal. I don't have jokes. I'm not a comedian unless your standards are really low. It's where you send a mass text to everyone globally, and you see which texts are responded the most racist way, and you narrow down the racists, and then you pit them against each other in an amazing way. But it's The Amazing Racist. That's it. That's the whole.
Yeah, that's Ari Shafir's whole act. No, I'm just kidding. Just you. Amazing Racist. That's all you. Everything else is. And I love that. I would watch that for sure.
Me too. I think I should patent it before you guys steal it.
None of us have that kind of energy.
Anthony, will you do me a favor and edit this part into the episode right before what Leedy said? Leedy, would you tell everybody that really great idea that I had?
I believe
Wait,
Zach,
Anthony, can you edit this into right after Jarret asks that question? No.
I believe, as long as we're doing joke history, Zach Galifianakis also had a joke where he said, "The show The Amazing Race, is that about white people?" I think that was
I
his.
remember that joke. That's great.
Anthony, what's going? We haven't heard from you. What's new with you?
Oh, nothing really. Just been just working on writing, and we took the dog and the cat to the vet yesterday to get rabies shots and stuff. So that's it.
Nice.
They're kind of moping around today.
I will leave it to you to decide whether to edit that out or not.
Well, wait, can Rob do a chart about how boring
So they don't have rabies, which is great. That's good news. And how long did the rabies?
And I think it's more about that they won't if they they go after a golfer or something like that has rabies.
Yeah.
That they won't be able to catch it.
Yeah, they got all their shots and stuff.
How long are they going to be rabies free for now? How long does the shots last?
Oh, I don't know.
Are you going to look to see if they start acting autistic?
God damn it! I was so close to saying that. And then Brett started talking. I just was like, all right, he'll say whatever. And then I'll get my autism joke in.
I think that was actually Leedy's idea.
Based on an Ari Shafir joke.
Leedy, you could just draw a train for that one if you don't mind.
Oh, okay.
Brett, what's going on with you, buddy?
Not much. I hand washed my bath mat because my roommate got drunk and peed all over the bathroom.
God.
So
Isn't this the roommate who said it's not going to get worse?
yep.
Did you ever find out if he was fucking his cousin or he was just lying about his cousin coming over?
I'm pretty sure he was fucking his ex. But
Ex-cousin.
it's up in the air. They could be one and the same.
So
Hey,
weird.
I went through CRISPR treatment, so now we are no longer genetically related, and we can hook up. That's my rationalization for how someone becomes an ex-cousin.
It's just weird. I had this is a real stepdad energy of like things that you shouldn't have to tell another grown adult, and it's just uncomfortable.
Don't fuck your cousin.
Don't fuck your cousin. I haven't broached that because I'm just like, you lied to me. It's not worth. I'm kicking you out. It's not worth. It's not worth confronting there. It's not going to do anything good. But I'm like, the last text I sent him is, please stop smoking in the apartment. Which is like something I just should not have to say once. I definitely shouldn't have to say multiple times. And I'm like, I'm between, do I tell you you're not going to get your security deposit back if I go in there and the room reeks of tobacco when you leave? Or do I just let that happen, avoid the confrontation, and then not give him his security deposit back if I need to pay for a new paint job or something, whatever.
Right.
Yeah, you don't have to tell him that. That's what the
latter.
security
I don't,
deposit is.
Yeah.
That's what it's for. If anyone moves out, like no landlord is like, oh, by the way, if you smoke in the apartment and that causes an issue, you just don't get it back.
Yeah.
Right. You hear
but there is a naivety or like just ignorance
That's
there
his
where
problem.
I'm like, I have to explain these things to you. So just out of niceness, I'm like, should I tell you that this is you're potentially losing your security deposit here just to prevent? It's easier for me if I don't have to repaint the walls. It's easier for me if you stop smoking in the apartment. When I show the apartment to somebody, they're not going to smell that. Like, that's better for me.
This guy, you're talking about a guy that's already peeing on stuff in the apartment. You tell him that it's a possibility he won't get his money back. He's going to try to get his money's worth. He'll take a shit on your pillow.
He was just wasted. I don't think it was spite pee.
No, but even if it's not, he's going to be like, well, if that's a possibility, I might as well just lean into this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You're probably right.
I don't trust it.
All right.
It's not your job to give him a list of everything that could happen to make him lose his security deposit.
All right. Fair enough. All right. Should we get the show started?
Let's get the show started, guys.
Let's do it.
All right. Are you ready for our order?
Yeah.
The Jarret machine?
All right.
It doesn't make a sound anymore. The Jarret machine used to be very loud.
Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't, depending on how it feels. Beep, boop, 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 boop.
Ooh, it was feeling a little kinky there.
Beep, beep, boop, 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 boop.
Yeah, eyebrow.
Our order this week is Anthony, Rob, Brett, Jarret.
Whoa. I've been trying to read more, but it's a lot of work. So earlier I was listening to an audiobook in a language I don't understand. So I played it into a voice-to-text translator so I can read it back in English later.
Okay.
I like the justification of, I'm trying to read more, but it's hard. Because then everybody's like, oh, he just doesn't like to read, but then we find out that the hard thing is that you're translating a book on tape from a different language.
I need a justification for every part along the way. And I think if you start off with Jarret's, it's hard. If you can get a reason to be like, well, I was going to actually read it, but then that's kind of hard, so I got an audiobook. But then I had to pay more money. That's kind of hard for the English version, so the other language version was cheaper. And then so if you just keep saying how hard why you keep good, and then it becomes obvious that you're going, really out of the way to do something that isn't so hard anymore.
But this translator didn't say the book back to me in English. It typed it out in English. So then I just had to read that instead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you go reading's hard.
I think it would be fun, and I don't know where to put this exactly, but I want to know the title of the retranslated book that you read. Okay. So you might be like, so I was reading The Gatsby, so good. I don't know if that's the name of the book it said it was, at least.
The Gatsby, so good, like it's a bad translation.
Yeah. Whatever language you, I don't know. Other examples like that.
That could be a running gag where the book that when you get it in a different language, you then just say the title again in that language. And then after you translate it, you say the poorly translated version of that title. What I would do is I would get like a list of like the most famous books in history or something and just put those through a translator and see what the funniest one is.
The instance of Benjamin Button Wonder.
I was reading Huckleberry Finn or Young Racist Boy as just translated it back to me. You just get silly with them.
I'm trying to figure out a play on War and Peace. Pieces of War, War and Pieces. Just some.
A bunch of Russian people argue. Much battle strategy. I don't know.
So, yeah, perhaps I'm also confused on, at the end of the day, you're just saying it's tough because the translation is bad. That is the ultimate joke?
I think what I thought was funny about the joke was that I'm saying that I'm trying to read more, but it's hard or whatever. So I'm trying to find an alternative. The alternative is to listen to an audiobook, but it happened to be in a language I didn't understand. So I have to do more work to be able to understand this book. So then the voice text translator just makes it a book again. I'm going to read it back in English. So instead of just reading the book, I did all this stuff just to read the book.
Right.
Just for a shorter word, voice dictation.
Oh yeah, voice dictation. I have a feeling that was part of why it didn't work the way that I wanted to, because I was trying to explain that with as few words as possible, the voice to text thing. Mm-hmm. But I bet a lot of people missed what I was trying to say, just like Jarret did. If
you do voice to text, then you also have to say, and then I translated that. Or you say you put it into a translator that spits it out in text form, something like that.
What if
because I said so I played it into a voice to text translator so I can read it back in English later. Yeah. So it's not clear.
I mean, it's clear to me. I like this joke.
What if at the end of all of the whole process you say, so would anybody be willing to read it out loud to me?
In English.
Russian man. Yeah.
You Russian man. That's great.
It would be, I don't know, maybe this isn't necessary, but it would be nice for me if it was clear the book that you wanted to read. If it was originally in a language or something along those lines. I'm not sure, because I think Brett was kind of getting at that a little bit, because then it was like, oh, well, it sucked because I couldn't get the English version. I had to get the...
Yeah.
But if I know what that book is, then I'll know, oh, yeah, of course, that was originally written in Russian, or that was originally...
Oh, yeah, some Kafka thing, maybe.
Yeah.
I think 100 Years of Solitude would be a good one, because then you could translate that to something like Long Time by Myself.
Wait,
thought that would get a bigger pop.
What's the original?
I'm not too. I didn't know the book. I was unfamiliar.
100 Years of Solitude.
Yeah,
100 Years of Solitude.
I mean, I got the joke, but that's not like in my ether.
Well, that answers my second question of, is that book well known enough that it will work? And the answer is no.
I mean, I'm sure I've heard of it, but I definitely haven't read it. I've read enough books that I think that if I put a book title in this joke, it'll be a book that I've read.
Yeah.
I think I should understand.
Hey, do you guys know any books? Got this good joke, but I'm a lot on my own here.
I know I only have 10 minutes, but if you guys could just spend those 10 minutes giving me...
Will you guys read to me? That's what I'm getting at, really. That's okay. So I don't know. So I like that, though. Kind of the justification along the way might help it.
Each step could be very funny. Each step in itself could just be a journey of just like.
Yeah. If you say, so then I, like 5 times in this joke, right, it's going to get progressively funnier every time you say so then I.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
And it's getting
from mice
more
to
weird.
men. I was sitting on that for a while.
It just gets all the prepositions wrong.
Boys to mice.
A few shades of a color.
Goodbye, arms.
That's great. That's good. Goodbye, arms. That's actually, I like that a lot.
What is Goodbye Arms?
Farewell to
Farewell
arms.
to arms.
That book also fails the Brett test.
All right, what books have
if you
read?
guys say like Animorphs or something like that, I know that. Goosebumps.
Goosebumps number, but nothing in the 20s. I didn't read
One
it.
fish, two fish, red fish, blue fish.
Do you have any Clifford, the Big Red Dog references?
You can say any book as long as you put Cliff Notes at the end. Then Brett will get it.
Are there cliff notes to any of those Clifford books?
There's an Anthony joke.
That's
Anthony.
it's just a big red dog just shortening books.
Clifford, the Big Red Note.
Not to be confused with Sparky Notes. It's the other
The
dog.
other dog.
The other dogs. Okay, maybe
That
that's
is-
better than this joke, though. I'm really
I love Clifford, the big red dog. Shortening books. Versus Sparky. Oh, that's good.
Do you think that this can continue, or making that journey longer is as far as it goes? Is there somewhere that it could go after?
That was a
voice to
ridiculous
text.
question.
What?
You're like, do you think this continues, or the only other option is to continue with it? Basically, is what you said. You're like,
No,
the journey
no.
could be longer.
No. I mean, like elaborating on the journey along the way, but still
Mhm.
ending it where it ends.
Oh, I see.
Or taking it somewhere else after it's translated back into English text for me to read.
The idea of having someone read it to you was that's a nice
Oh, yeah,
extension
having-
of that. I think that's really funny. I wanted to read a book, but I thought reading was hard. So
Yeah, I think that
audio version.
just ending up back where you started, but there are 1,000 steps in between.
Yeah,
Anything that you put there is going to be a nice button. I don't think that you need
doesn't have to go
to
somewhere
sort of
else.
like expand the world after that.
One added thought or question. I don't know if this makes any sense. When you maybe there's an added step almost where you're like, all I could do was get the audiobook in the original language of Russian, let's say.
Mhm.
So I wanted a Russian to English translator, but they don't give me the audio. So like I thought I could get the audio for the English, but I couldn't. They only could it was only voice to text. And then that's does that make any sense? Like you thought that you could get the thing, but then
Well, even if it was an audiobook in Russian, what's that going to? I have to still play that into the translator because I don't know Russian.
right. But I guess maybe just a tiniest little added of like so I figured I could get the Russian translated to English, but there was no audio, it was only it's the exact same thing. It's just that added thing of you thought you could get Russian to English and hear it, but you couldn't. It had to go to text.
Yeah, I think the extra step that Rob is talking about is you don't immediately go to voice to text translator.
Oh.
You go to a translator, but they didn't have one that would speak. They only had one that was to text.
Yeah.
Is that right, Rob?
Oh, so
Yes,
now
exactly.
I'm,
It's just the
now I'm
expectation.
dictated, or it's being dictated to me, and I'm trying to write it out.
No, I
to
guess
put
it was
it
just
into-
it was just the assumption that you were making that you were going to be able to listen to the book, but then you couldn't because the voice to the translator would not speak to you. The translator would only put it in text.
Oh, I kind of like the idea that I'm dictating it by hand
you-
in real time, doing the best that I can to write it correctly in a
Oh.
different language, and then I put that text into a some kind of Google translator.
Oh, I
For me
didn't.
to
I
read
didn't. I
back.
for some reason I missed that portion of it. Okay.
That's what your idea was making me think of.
Oh, I see.
I was kind of missing what you were saying,
Gotcha.
and
That
I
was
was
not
thinking,
my idea.
yeah, I was trying to understand your idea, and that's what I thought of.
I see. Well, then maybe neither ideas.
I mean, all of this is great so long as the path from getting a book in English to getting a book in English is as long and convoluted as you can make it.
Yeah.
As
Yeah.
these notes. I feel like I'm hearing some chatter in the background.
Oh, that's Kirsten. She's on a work.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm in the corner to try to mitigate that.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I was thinking it would be really funny if Leedy was like, "Mom, can you stop playing the xylophone?" And then she just had a conference call instead.
Yeah, I can. Yeah, if we could
Or a steel drum.
If we could drown Kirsten out with those steel
Doesn't
drums, that'd be
mind.
great.
I mean, Kirsten plays the steel drums. I can just ask her to switch. It'd be, yeah. Leedy's mom went from playing the steel drums to speak and spell.
Move on to good old Rob.
Good old Rob. Everyone loves good old Rob.
I have a weird idea here, and the idea is about I know doctors recently have become increasingly frustrated with people who decide to use WebMD because people who use WebMD, they think they think they're doctors now. They think they just go online, type in their symptoms and just know what their illness is. And I'm like, yeah, we're doctors now. Like, that's what you do, and now we can do it.
That's what they
So
do.
I'm not sure. I know you went to like school for 100 years or whatever, but I mean, aside from surgery, like that's exactly what you look up books that give you information on diseases. Now we have the books on the computer. Well, yes, that's my thought. That's how I truly
love
feel.
this.
I like this. That's how you truly feel.
That's how I actually feel about, certain narrow things. Like if there's a problem that you have and you do enough research online, I am certain that you will find out what's wrong with you specifically without having to necessarily, there's a point by which you have to do tests and other things, but
Yeah, X-rays or blood work
Yeah.
or something like that.
but anyway, so that's my thought. That was my original thought going into it, and I'll be a little bit more headstrong in the stand-up version of myself.
Right. Well, I was thinking if that's not your actual, that you could to point out that that's why that's wrong. Then you could be like, but anyways, can you? And then something that only a doctor could do.
Oh, that's fine. Okay, yes.
Oh,
yes.
wait, do you
so
want it to
I
be
could go either
wrong?
way.
Yeah.
want him to be wrong.
But anyways, do you think that I have prostate cancer? While you're in there, do you feel anything?
Were you able to
really
Google
not
your blood work? What did Google say your thyroid test came out as?
I don't think Rob is wrong, though. I agree with this.
Listen, I have a lot of problems with Western medicine, and I agree with this in a lot of situations. But there is definitely a benefit to the rigorous years of study that go into
I
to
agree,
becoming a
but
doctor.
I think that there's a bunch of stuff that you can self-diagnose yourself on.
There's also a bunch of stuff that you can misdiagnose
Yes,
yourself,
but
and I think that
there's
that's a lot
also
more
a lot
likely.
of things that doctors misdiagnose.
I agree.
They send people home with walking pneumonia, or they, whatever.
But I
They
think
miss
that
stuff all the time.
you are more likely to misdiagnose yourself than a doctor. On average.
If you go that way, though, I guess it would be kind of funny to talk about what it looks like when you're using the internet, because it's always like Yahoo Answers or something. Like if you're trying to Google whatever you have that you want to find out, like just how ridiculous, like where we're looking. It's like we went from asking doctors to just like whoever that is on Yahoo.
I am happy taking down now that actually you've given me pushback on this, Brett. I am doubling down on my position. I'm far happier taking the stance, even if I'm wrong in many instances, of being like, what are we? Who cares? Like I've been to school. I know what school is. Like there's some benefits to book learning, and then at some point you just reach a plateau where the doctor is just going to go into the next room and just be effectively looking up, trying to figure out what the hell's wrong with you.
My issues with doctors are actually different. I think that a doctor will, instead of look up something and admit that they don't know anything, they'll just tell you that something is different is wrong. They'll be like, blood pressure. That's what I think is more realistic. But that's what clinicals are for, is for the experience that they get, which you don't have.
No,
I think you are becoming
but
a
the
Dunning-Kruger.
experience that I have.
You know what? I'm going to
is-
draw a chart.
Go ahead, do it. The experience I have is my body, and I know what's going on, and I know what's normal. You ever go into a doctor's office and they're like, "Yeah, it's probably this." You're like, I mean, sure, that's what other people go through, but that's not how I am feeling, and I'm trying to express to you, and they just won't. Whatever.
There are a lot of really, really incompetent doctors. I 100% agree with that.
Did a
I
doctor
like the
hurt
idea.
you?
Shut up, Leedy. Just shut up.
Just draw.
I just have this image of a doctor leaving the room and getting on a laptop and Googling whatever the patient is talking about, and then clicking on a YouTube video, and then like reading YouTube comments to find more information, and then coming back and giving you a diagnosis based on that.
He's like, and not only that, but Corona is a hoax.
I was going to give you this vaccine, but I just saw a video. I don't know. Also, how many of those things that you Google and the symptoms, and you get like to WebMD or whatever, and because I've done that a lot, and a lot of times it's like, if this, it doesn't say like this is what you have. It says you should see a doctor. That's like a funny direction to go in too,
right?
You know, where you're just like
And the doctor's clicking
the doctor
the same
gets to that
link.
point, and he's like, "Oh no,
Hey, John. That's funny.
No, I was thinking the other way, where you say to the doctor, just like, you know, listen, you're not a doctor, you didn't go to medical school, all you're doing is Googling things at home, and you're like, yeah, well, that's what you're doing, you're just Googling things, you did a version of school, but I'm just doing a Google, so I'm going to go home, and then you go home and you Google it, and it says, see a doctor.
That's funny. I do want to be right in this scenario, the more I think about it now. Because, no, I'm saying it funnily, but I mean that I think that in the ether, the typical joke is that we are wrong. We're not doctors. We don't get it. We don't understand. I've heard WebMD jokes. I've heard plenty of WebMD jokes. And now I'm saying, no. I want to play the other side of the fence here. I want to say, fuck doctors and fuck this belief that we think that they are something. I'm not saying that they're not special or better. I'm just saying that they're not so much better. They're not so special. And that because of pay, because of time, because of all the other little factors, that they are going to rush you, not really consider what's actually going on. They don't know you very well. They're not housed. They're not trying to get to the bottom of what's going on. And if you had half a brain and you were dedicated to figuring out what was wrong with you, and you weren't so bad about little trial and error stuff, not when it comes to blood work and things like this, there's, I'm sure there's a good percentage of doctor visits that could have been done better if you whatever. And that's like the real version of it. The jokey version is me being a little bit more irreverent and stupid. But
I think you're going to have to, as with anything, like, your rescue dog bit, you're going to have to cover those bases. Because I think actually you'll have less pushback on this. I think most people are going to be like, yeah, doctors, fuck them. I think you're going to have like an easy time with audiences on that. But for the few outliers there, or the actual doctors that may be in the audience, I think you are going to have to cover those bases in order to sell it. But I do think it's very funny. I wonder if there is I don't know if you want to put this jab in this direction, but sure. As the only difference between like me and you is that after I Google my symptoms, I don't get like lunch paid for by Pfizer.
That's funny. I like that. That's a good.
That is another issue I have with doctors, is their obvious bribes from pharmaceutical reps where they're like, oh, you got a headache? Well, you need a bandage from this company that just bought me lunch.
At least when I tried to figure out what was wrong with me, I didn't stop looking after 15 minutes and go, you gotta. This is going to be a whole other visit if you want to try.
I didn't then have to Google symptoms for everybody else in the waiting room. I could spend as much time Googling me as possible. It wasn't like, 15 minutes is up. Now what's wrong with Steve?
Right. Yeah, there's something to that I really like what I don't do that doctors would do. Well,
you're Googling and it's like, oh, I have blah, 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 but my insurance does not cover that, so I have this instead.
Yeah, I was going to say something like that, but more of like, who's giving me free samples of drugs currently? Like, that's what I have.
Matt Jenkins has a joke of, going to the doctor is like way more expensive. So I've been using WebMD instead. And he's like, what I like about that is if you don't like the results, you could just change your symptoms. He's like, irreversible liver damage. Ugh, that doesn't sound very good. How about sprained left pinky toe? Yeah, that sounds better. And now I can drink tonight.
That's a good joke. It sounds thought out and everything. That's good.
Yeah, he's a good writer.
That's great. I'll say a little side note as a doctor joke. I had this idea when I used to wait tables. We would always go back into the side station where the drinks stuff are all made, and we'd always complain. I mean, just like whatever happened, big smiles on our face, and then we go immediately back and just trash all of our guests, whoever they were. And I just always wondered if other professions did that as much as servers do. I just would love to see a doctor be like, oh yeah, and then he goes back into the room and he's like, what is fucking up with this? But I just said, okay, what I say, you have cancer. And she's like, what? I don't believe it. I'm like, I just fucking told her you have. I'm like, you have cancer. I'm a doctor. Like, what is wrong with this woman?
I'm gonna spit in her Band-Aids.
I'm gonna go smoke. cover my patients.
I actually did. Weirdly enough, my doctor, I have a pretty good relationship with. He once got a call where he was like, I'm so sorry, I have to, while we were having our appointment, he was like, I'm so sorry, I have to take this. And the person was obviously a wild person who would give him a lot of trouble. And he was so close to just venting to me. It was so great. I could see once he was on the phone, he was like, people. It was I was like, just tell me. I heard it over the phone. It's fine.
That's great.
This is a little bit unrelated, but a couple of years ago, my therapist sent a mass text that her husband died, and she was taking, indefinitely taking time off for however many months. And I remember the first couple of appointments after we started up again, I felt like, how am I going to complain about my life? Knowing what has just happened to this woman.
Right.
And, that's, I don't know if that's really anything that can be incorporated into this joke, but that's just a funny thing. When you know too much about your doctors,
right?
It changes.
You're telling her all of your problems, but in a way where you're trying to comfort her. You're like, I've been thinking a lot about how life doesn't end when somebody dies, and they couldn't be with you when physically they were here. They could only be with you some of the time, and they could be with you all the time. Anyways,
anyway, that's why I
on
hate
my mind.
You never said, but enough about me so much. A therapy session.
I was actually going to say go the opposite direction, really double down on how important your thing is. The goddamn deli guy, every single time I go in there, he doesn't listen to me.
Nobody has ever experienced a loss like this.
It's so frustrating. I'm just so glad that I have my mom to talk to.
Yeah, you're talking about having to go to a different bodega. It's the worst kind of loss. It's 24 hours. It's right around the corner from my apartment. My whole life has changed now.
Funny.
Anyway.
That's all I wanted to share with you guys today. Thank you so much. I want to hear Leedy's joke.
All right.
Yeah.
Leedy.
Here we go.
This is intimidating for me. This will be literally the first time I've told a joke to anyone that wasn't my family because I had to get the okay for said.
Oh
great.
my God.
Well, I would argue that because I've seen your interpretations of art, you are telling jokes in a lot of those. You put spins on other people's jokes and stuff like that. Those are telling jokes.
Yeah, I'm with Brett on that one.
And I would say that we're family now.
Oh, yeah. I know
other
about
point,
your
yeah.
liver issues, therefore we're friends.
You know
Okay,
about
great.
my therapist and husband.
I would say that fuck those other podcasts you've been on, because how many podcasts you've been on? You haven't told another joke to another soul that's not your family?
I don't know.
I would say, sorry, no, I just wanted to do that. Everybody was saying something. I didn't have anything to say.
Okay, here it is. Help me with this. My sibling is non-binary, and they don't like their given name. So I asked them what they wanted me to call them, and they said whatever, as long as it's not gendered. So I called them what I think really suits them: asshole, fuckface, fuckwad. It's just more honest. That's it. That's the whole joke.
It's who they've always been.
It's who they've always been deep down, so I think they're really becoming someone. Bastard.
I like that a lot. I think it's a little on the nose. I want something that's a little subtler or weirder, like "get out of my room."
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Oh yeah, and you could be like, and it's great because I could just change the name for whatever's going on. You can give multiple
Lot of nickname
situations.
possibilities.
They made me an omelet today, so today they're Angel, but tomorrow.
I like that a lot. That's great. Yeah, I would agree with Jarret there. If the thing is not so obviously just a bad word like asshole or fuckwad or something, that would make me laugh more. I think that's good.
Bad skin, greasy.
Yeah, I really do like the idea that it's a passive aggressive way for you to kind of insult your sibling. It's like,
Yeah.
They
hey,
said it was fine.
takes too much time in the bathroom. I was just curious. What are you? Are you making lunch or?
Hey, clog the toilet. Get over here.
All
Is
right.
it offensive to point out that these sound like Native American names?
Well, Native
Good point.
Americans also were a lot more open, from what I understand, to non-binary things. So maybe that's how that tradition started.
That's true. I did read something about that they had they recognized like several
Like
dozen
six genders, 7 genders, or something like that.
Huh. You see, Jarret? Huh?
Yeah.
And Anthony
This
read
is
something about
Yeah.
indigenous people that you didn't know. And it was in Clifford. That was the book they read it in.
Clifford was very progressive.
He was.
This is a strange way to say happy belated Indigenous Peoples Day, which
That
was
is true.
yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
It was
That's
yesterday.
right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
That's what come
yesterday
out
in real
until-
life. It was 6 months ago when this comes out.
Actually, it might come out on the next Indigenous Peoples Day. So.
Oh,
It's fine.
perfect. Okay.
We're trying to catch up.
All right, yeah, that's a great joke, Leedy.
Yeah,
Thank
it
you.
is
I feel
very
like
fun.
that quite a bit.
Awesome.
Yeah, so keep tinkering around with those suggestions. Like, yeah, it's that because when it's absolutely negative, even bad skin is like too, but dry skin is
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like where you're trying to be subtle in your insult. It's the passive aggressive that makes that really, really funny. But I love that concept. Awesome stuff.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah.
Time for Brett.
Time for Brett.
Okay, I got a 2-parter here.
Oh, that's great.
Sweet.
I met a cam girl once. She was wearing a dress, and I was like, I know what's under there. It's a camera. That's part one. We ended up actually going home together, and I was kind of shocked because when I took off her dress, her lower half was human too. And I was like, a cam girl. But unrelated, she had the exact same vagina as this woman I watch online who is an internet stripper.
This is something you tweeted, right? Did you tweet
Yeah.
it differently?
I tweeted it differently, yeah.
Because the first part was like something you're like her top half was definitely human. Is that how? it
Yeah.
I missed that in what you just said, but I like everything that you just said as well.
You're saying you liked the original tweet where I said,
Yeah, I like.
I met a cam girl once. It must have been her lower half because her top half was definitely human.
Yeah,
You like that version better? Okay.
unless there's a way to use all of it.
Oh yeah, I can. I was just trying an alternative way to get to the same joke, but yeah, I could easily replace that first half.
Because I liked everything you said just now, but I was missing that the tweet version.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted that in there too.
For some reason, when I read your tweet version, I didn't process it correctly. When I read it, I was just like, "What? I don't understand what's happening." I think I understand now.
Oh, okay. You know what? It did. I thought the joke was very funny, and it did way poorer than I thought it would. So that to me makes sense.
I believe that Rob's experience is very common because even though I got it, there was still like a processing delay when I read it. And so I was like, even hearing you tell it, I was like, I sense that there's going to be a processing delay for anybody who hears this joke.
So I'm underhanding the joke too much in that I need to string the audience along a little bit more and explain a little bit more. To say I'm a camgirl, which I thought is somebody who is half human, half camera, and it's out.
Oh yeah,
saying half human, half camera is just so.
But
funny.
her bottom half,
Right? And I just thought that was you could do that with so many jokes that I was trying to find a way to not do that. You know, I'm a dog person.
Yeah,
you have to dog have person. You know,
Yeah.
So I was trying to find a unique way to do it, but maybe now I found these other parts, so maybe that'll be the unique part to it. Okay, cool.
I love the ending. I think that's really funny.
Okay.
She had the
She has the exact same vagina
Yeah.
as this internet stripper.
You never
Try another one here.
You never forget I don't know what the word is.
I'm not good with names or faces, but vaginas.
Oh yeah,
I got a photograph.
Little thing at the top. Harry. Yeah, I know.
Little thing at the top.
Little thing is.
Oh yeah, short, lippy, little brown, and then pink in the middle. I got you. Yeah, Stacy, right?
Mike E. Winfield has a joke. People always say, you know, oh, I'm sorry, I'm not good with names, but I'm really good with faces. He's like, yeah, of course. Nobody does it the other way around. Nobody just gets out of the car like, hey, man, I don't know you, but your name is Steve.
That's good. I like that.
Yeah, that was a great joke.
Whose joke is that?
Mike E. Winfield. Very funny guy.
I don't know. Shout out to
all right, let me try another one here.
Shout out to Mikey Winfrey.
Yeah, I've shouted out 2 comics in this one with their jokes.
You were good at shouting out non-famous comedians.
Mike E. Winfield's, I think he's got a Comedy Central thing.
I stand by what I
All right, well, I haven't written this out, so I'm just going to feel it out. Whenever I go to a Dunkin' Donuts, no matter what I order, the person behind the counter is flabbergasted. It's like they have no idea that was even an option. I'm like, hey, can I have a blueberry coffee with milk and sugar? And they're like, coffee, large, iced coffee? I'm like, no. Blueberry coffee, milk and sugar. And they're like, okay. Well, sorry, one more time. I don't know what it is. And I've gone to the same Dunkin' Donuts several times. It's just, I don't know what their training program is. I think they just drop them in there like, you work here now.
2 ideas I have for that are he has to go, you know this is a Dunkin' Donuts, right?
It is?
As if you don't know where you are. You know?
Right.
I think it's a little bit backpedaling to actually make your order a little bit weird.
Oh yeah, I was trying to think of a more basic one, but I was like, that's what I do actually order. But
can I get a small coffee and a donut? And they're like, what?
I gotta call my manager over.
I don't know if we have those.
I love that. I think you actually might have to fight against. You might have to fight upstream against the idea that you are somehow making fun of Indian people or immigrants, even though you're not. But that would be my thought, that people would jump to this idea that you're just talking to a non-English speaking immigrant.
That's an easy fix. I could just say, it doesn't matter if it's an Indian guy, a white guy, a black guy. Nobody who works at Dunkin' Donuts knows what's happening.
Sure. Yeah, that's my thought for how audiences might swallow it and be like, sure, there's a language barrier, but it's not a language barrier, or maybe that could be just it. You know, it's not that, it's not language barrier. It's just, I love, by the way, and you kind of trailed off, but I love, what is their training program? And then I really wanted to know what Brett's brain would come up with for the Dunkin' Donuts training program, because you kind of resorted to, which is great still, but it was just to drop them in there. Hey, you work here now.
I like the idea that somebody shows up and they go, I'm here for the Dunkin' Donuts training. And then the person goes,
They hand him a straw.
And maybe they're like blueberry coffee, donut, or whatever your order was. Maybe that's what they think.
Yeah. They're like, do we have training?
I want to see the manager in the back, just like, just trying.
I also like the act out of just like frantically going through the manual, no matter what you order. You know, hey, can I get a black coffee and a donut? And they're just like, oh God, oh boy, 2 days from retirement. Oh God.
But there's no manual.
That's so funny. I had a joke about my old dry cleaners, and the way I worded it was that I used to go to my dry cleaners, and I would hand them the ticket, and they would look for my clothes the way I would look for my clothes. They would grab the ticket, look at me, look at the ticket, then they just go, and they just start walking up and down the aisle. And I was like, no, there's a system, right? You have a system. I know this looks like a complicated mess, but you can't look like that, like it's a complicated mess. You should know how this thing works. Every time, week after week, I was like, what is happening? You never know where it is. It just cracked me up. So I empathize with your experience.
Oh yeah, that's exactly the same emotion. Because I always just want to be like, turn around, it's right there. There's not that many things on a Dunkin' Donuts menu. If you take away the donuts, there's only like 5 things. There are flavors on the bottom. It says blueberry. Like it's not hard.
This could be a Brett Druck way to end this joke, maybe, where you go like, I got so frustrated. I was like, there's no way it's that hard. And I leaned over and I go, look, donut, coffee. And I work at Dunkin' Donuts now. Someone else came in. I was like,
And now I'm the manager.
Now I'm the manager.
All right, great notes. I'm going to try one more here. Whenever I'm at a restaurant and a stranger's baby just gets fixated on me, I'm always like, I know.
Get in line, baby.
Nice.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, I like that. I mean, it doesn't really seem like it's almost creepy.
I know.
Yeah, I guess maybe it's coming from a place of like, as a dude, you never really get checked out. So it's hard to, kind of feel, nobody ever really compliments dudes, So
yeah,
when you take it where you can get it, like if a stranger's baby gets fixated on me in a restaurant, then I just double down. I'm like, I know.
Drink
it
in.
could also work as somebody's dog, if somebody's dog is excited as they walk by you or something.
Right.
Just if you were trying to get away from weird connotations with you and babies, because you make that face.
Well, but that's not. I'm not trying to make a "you want to fuck me" face. I'm just like, yeah, I'm beautiful. No kidding.
That's how I read it.
All right. Bat and
like
clean
this
up.
Clean up.
Okay.
Clean up.
Ouch.
I've got
clean up's just a baseball term.
I got 2 short ones. They might be tweets, but I'm hoping that they can be stand-up jokes.
Okay.
So
Not counting the characters.
It bothers me. It bothers me that clapping cheeks means what it means. It means like sex or slapping a butt or twerking, and not what I think it should mean, that your butt is giving you a round of applause. Because you did something that your butt really likes. Oh, you went to Dwayne Reed and you got the extra soft toilet paper? Yeah. That's it. Clapping cheeks. I have never gotten this reaction. This stunned silence.
I was confused in the act out. I wasn't sure if that was your cheeks clapping because you're doing an act out of. It wasn't clear. I didn't have the visual that was your cheeks clapping, even though that was the premise.
Mm.
Can you bend over and do it?
Yeah. I was also concerned. I was like, is he about to twerk?
You're gonna have to put the : clap : if you're gonna tweet that.
Yeah.
for the sound
Wait,
effect.
so the premise is just that you wish clapping cheeks meant
that your butt was applauding you.
okay. I just
Or
think
anybody, that your butt was applauding something.
Yeah.
I feel like maybe I need more justification, but I don't know what that would be. I guess you just like it. You just think it's a
Yeah, I'm
silly
getting
idea.
caught up a little bit in
like
the logic. Why would you would be in control of your butt clapping?
Yes, that is true.
So your butt wouldn't just like your butt
But
doesn't
people
have its own sense
anthropomorphize parts of their body all the time in jokes. You know,
they
like
do,
my
but
dick
they have
thinks this.
they have a
and my-
justification for it.
But also, so the butt clapping, the butt clap or whatever is an actual thing. It's like the twerking or whatever.
yeah.
So the butt is actually doing your act out. But
Yeah.
so maybe you just say that you like to think when you see that the butt is just clapping about something that the person did earlier. Like
Ooh, that is funny. That is
funny.
funny.
Like, oh, she must have bought the good toilet paper. And
That's good.
Oh, yeah.
What I would like to see
There you go.
is the sarcastic slow butt clap
I like that it's sarcastic.
where somebody does not do something good for their butt and the butt's just like, oh, good job on the single ply.
You're just gonna wipe once. Bravo. Oh yeah,
Bravo
you
to
really
you.
did it.
And then
You
it's
really
just
did
like,
it.
oh,
Kudos
I am so
for
clean
that.
right now. Not a.
Hero.
See, that's the act out I wanted. What Rob just did.
yeah, good job.
That's that. Honestly, that is exactly what I needed. It is so much funnier to me.
For those just listening, Rob is clapping his hands.
Rob
behind his
stood
back.
up, put his button frame, and slapped his butt.
Medium close up. Of
and I did a little dip
butt.
too.
He's doing a
Forget the
little
dip.
Yeah, you got
That's
the
the most
knees
important part.
involved.
bit. The knees were an integral part.
Okay. All right, that framing works. I like that.
Also, a fart is kind of like a really fast butt clap.
Ah, yes. Just
Yeah, because
Yeah.
butts love to fart,
Yeah.
and they are applauding that they are
It's like
farting.
it's like a cat purring.
This joke is so good. I love this. It has so many layers.
yeah.
It's an entire world. This feels like a series. This is the Lord of the Rings trilogy.
It's the
Would
when
you
you get
say-
a bunch of butts clapping at the same time, it's the only time you can smell a round of applause. Now you're bringing because you said levels, layers.
Yep.
I wanted to bring smell into this.
He meant ply.
All right.
I stand
So
by.
yeah, this
what makes
joke
it
is
round.
perfect. We don't need to do anything more for this.
Yep.
What
Uh,
about ball?
Oh, wait.
clapping?
Ball clapping?
Yeah. 'cause
sounds
balls
painful.
Clap too.
Do they? Oh, balls clap like when you're doing doggy style. They clap
Right.
on butts,
Yeah. Or
but they don't clap by
with-
themselves.
with
Butt
doggy
cheeks
style.
clap by themselves.
Just so you know, when you're doing doggy style, the balls are not hitting the person's butt, so you have to be careful about that, Jarret. I think you're doing it wrong.
He has really, really long balls, so they can actually swing around like
He's
a
doing a
like a
handstand.
child would on a swing, kind of
Oh
like
yeah,
that.
yeah.
I am confused. I thought that doggy style was synonymous with missionary. I've only seen dogs do it missionary. What
What did
are you guys talking about?
And in missionary, the dog just slaps his balls on the person's butthole. It doesn't enter.
Dogs call that human style. Is that a joke? Has anybody made that joke?
I haven't heard that before.
No, that's an Anthony Kapfer exclusive.
Beat-a-doo.
All right, you guys ready for my second tweet / maybe stand-up joke?
Yes.
Okay. Doing stand-up during Corona times has been really difficult. We've been trying to figure out how to perform, but also be, socially distanced. We do shows outside. I actually did a drive-in show where people would honk at you when they liked your joke. And now, like whenever I'm driving around and I hear people honk at me, I'm like, thank you. It was a good show. There were a lot of people that I didn't realize. People were recognizing me all the time.
And I always,
That's
pull over, put my blinkers on in case they want to talk to me, and then I get more and more fans. Let me know they're at the show.
The cops are like, we love you. Hey,
All right. Yeah. Anything for this, or is this?
I think it's funny.
It is what it is.
I think it's funny. I think the more you can poorly drive in a way that would cause more people to honk, that's a nice ingredient for more comedy.
I think I was not, for some reason at first I wasn't picking up on people honking at you as a driver. I was thinking like you were crossing the street. So maybe you're like, man, it was a good show, and then the car hits you because you have stopped hearing horns as
Maybe it's like
alarm.
maybe it's funnier to explain the premise of the joke and then go into the examples where it's like, now anytime I hear a car honking, I think that I'm being applauded now.
Yeah.
I'll just be like walking down the street, hear a car horn, and I'm like, oh my God, thank you. It was a good show. And then I get hit.
Yeah,
car.
I've been hit 3 times this week.
That's how funny I was.
His fans are rabid.
I like that's how funny I was.
You can get into that way shorter by just saying, I've been doing outdoor shows where people honk instead of laugh.
Mm-hmm. You don't think drive-in is necessary? I feel like
drive-in might be necessary.
Yeah.
In parking lots too. Parking lots and drive-ins.
Mm-hmm. Parking lots and
drive-ins.
drive-ins. Yeah, because otherwise you just imagine people in Central Park going honk,
honk, honk, honk.
I love the idea.
I think if you say where people honk their horns, you're gonna get
Also-
a picture of a bunch of people on unicycles going.
Yeah,
But I love
they sell horns not on unicycles, Brett. Also,
But if
unicycles
you
don't have
picture somebody
horns.
honking one of those horns, they're on a unicycle. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong.
You're wrong.
I'm not
I
wrong.
think of
Either
a
it's a
clown.
unicycle or it's a
think of a
kid's bike
clown.
that has training wheels.
Yeah,
It's either
exactly.
too many wheels
There's
or
no
not
place.
enough.
There's no place for a horn on a unicycle. It doesn't have any handles.
Your hands are free.
Handlebar. To hold horns?
Yeah.
Never. 0 times. Show me one picture.
It's built into your hat. You're wearing a hat with a horn
Look at the
on it.
picture.
That's what you do on a unicycle.
You will never.
I love
You'll
the
never
idea
convince
that,
me this is a thing. Sorry, Anthony. Go ahead.
I love the idea that when comedy is back to normal, that there's going to be someone in the audience doing what Rob was doing, honk,
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 honk.
instead of laughing out loud.
Just flashing their blinkers at you.
Or they're just blinking.
Just
Honk, honk.
That's a good accent. I like that. All right. We built a little bit of a world around this bit.
Yeah, that was fun.
Awesome. Yeah.
Let's end
Well,
it
that's.
before Brett can look up any.
He's never gonna find it. This is like the end.
I'm gonna find it.
This is like the end of Inception, where if the top never stops spinning,
We
the movie never
we
gets
I
to
think
end.
we understood at end of Inception. We all know the end of Inception.
He's never gonna find it. He's never. There's gonna be
I
no
felt-
end
I
to
felt
waiting
like-
for Brett.
I fell asleep at the end of Inception, so I don't know if I can. I think that's the way to watch it.
That's really funny.
Should we check out Leedy's pictures while Brett is on his
All right.
his failed journey to find a unicyclist who has a horn in his hand?
Brett, I think your microphone might have come unplugged.
Yeah, you sound different.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're back. Everyone's back.
Great.
All right.
All right, that was a
Alright.
great distraction from you not being able to find the picture. All right, Leedy, what you got?
First I have the ass clapping.
No,
Oh, nice.
Start with the best.
that's amazing.
That's what they always say.
That's great.
Anthony, do you have her?
Oh, yeah, let me
screen spotlight. Yeah, let's do that, so that the people at home can see a lot better.
I want to see the ass up closer.
Yeah. So show
Okay.
that again, I guess. So,
So here's the ass clapping.
Oh,
so
wonderful!
good.
And then here is the baby and Brett. I know.
Oh, that is amazing.
Good.
Here's Rob in the patio.
Patio Little Love.
And Clifford missionary. And then here is I know that vagina.
That's your new headshot, Brett.
And then I told her she had cancer and she got upset. What the fuck? Also, Rob Doctor still wears a backwards hat.
I love it.
Yeah.
Perfect.
I didn't go to 16 years of medical school, so I couldn't wear a hat.
I made a decision that every time I drew Rob, he would have the backwards hat.
Oh, man.
I Googled it and I've decided you've got liver problems. Here's the war for the autism joke.
Oh,
Here's just because I really wanted the excuse to make it. Here's Anthony as a toe. I just wanted to. And then
Like,
because it made sense to follow that one, here's Jarret as a butt.
Yes.
Because
Wait,
you
that
guys were
doesn't-
My new
saying
headshot.
That's how he always looks. Is that different?
you guys were saying you couldn't visualize like him clapping when it was just that. I totally saw like Jarret's facial hair on a butt.
My butt is this hairy.
And then the last one is just any liver issues? Nope, all good.
wow, that's excellent. Leedy, these
Thank
are
you, Lee.
wonderful.
That's so good.
man.
Thanks for
so
having me
funny.
on.
Yes,
Of
thank you for
course.
doing it. Follow Leedy at Art for My Heroes on Instagram. And can you say your website one more time?
Yeah, my website is artpal/leedy.e.corbin.
And we will put that link in the comments.
Yes.
And if you are listening to us today and you want to just go onto the YouTube and then fast forward to the end, you can see all the amazing drawings and paintings that Leedy did for us today.
Sweet. That is the awkward pause that we always end the episode.
Yeah, I don't know. I probably should have
I think
ended it
that's
there,
great.
but I was like, maybe I should let somebody else take over. All this while, I've been looking for a unicycle and a horn picture. So.
I feel like I have seen a unicycle with a horn attached.
Aha!
Where?
It might have been.
Where's
in
the
a-
picture? Where's the horn on the unicycle?
It might have been a drawing.
No, they're holding it.
They're holding it. Right. Maybe.
Yeah, no.
That's the
Guys,
joke.
guys. It doesn't exist.
I mean, I don't know. I can imagine a clown on a unicycle holding a horn, but he has to be a clown, I think.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think clowns hold horns, not people on unicycles. And if a clown is on a unicycle with a horn,
Hey, wait a minute. Ooh,
found
look
it.
at this.
How did you find it
Found it.
so fast? What
That
I
is-
just Googled it. I don't know. I'm a
Is it
child.
there?
of-
Brett,
it.
aren't you
Was
supposed
that
to be
right?
good with computers, Brett?
Yeah, wait a minute. Right, you're fine.
Oh, you know what? I was playing solitaire.
Now that was a painting or a drawing or something. That's not a picture.
Yeah, that
yes,
was a
but
picture.
but that proves the idea
What is that?
exists.
That is not a distinction that exists. A drawing is a picture. Painting is a picture.
It means that the idea is in the world, that people think
Right,
of
exactly.
cycles and horns
Yeah.
attached.
I'm
There's a
just
schema.
saying that's never happened in reality. That somebody
like-
has had a
that's like
unicycle
saying-
and
no.
also handlebars
Don't move the
That-
with a
goalpost.
wheel on it,
That's like saying people
so they can have a horn.
people didn't used to wear monocles and top hats, and somebody's like, "Here's Mr. Peanut," and you're like, "I'm not convinced."
Well, yeah, no, because it's not convincing. What if I told you that there used to be human-sized peanuts that used to dress all fancy, and then I showed you Mr. Peanut? That's not evidence.
No,
There's not evidence.
That's not what Brett was saying. It's that when you think of a unicycle, you picture a guy with a horn or something to that effect.
Clearly,
you
you
picture
do,
it's a
because
Well, I
Somebody drew it.
disagree. Well, I disagree. That was a clown.
Oh, look. It's a unicycle with a horn attached.
What
Oh,
the
wow.
fuck?
Okay. See, that's what I was looking for. All right.
Oh,
I
now
stand
you're
corrected.
convinced.
Got the
I stand
horn.
corrected. Yes, because it's a picture.
Pretty good.
This feeling, Brett, it could have been yours if you had just found the picture.
could have been yours.
I don't know what's going on with my Google images, but I'm not finding it.
I keep on getting naked ladies.
It's just porn. You've searched for so much porn that the computer automatically puts porn at the end
Did
of every
you mean
search.
porn?
It's a unicycle and a horny. Keep getting.
And you're like, I recognize that vagina.
Should we dismiss Leedy,
Oh yeah, Leedy,
or do
you are
were there more
dismissed.
notes?
Thank
we
you
listened
so
to?
much.
Your mom can
Thank
play the
you,
steel drum
guys.
now.
Oh, I do want
awesome,
to
Leedy.
make
Thanks
fun of
so much.
Jarret one more time. I like the idea of somebody witnessing a robbery. He's a detective. A sketch artist comes in and he goes, "That's not a real person. That's just crayon and pencil." Oh, what do you want me to arrest a cartoon? Do you?
You're right, Jared. This is a losing argument for you.
I'm right. I'm right. I feel like that Hannibal meme. I don't know why you're laughing. I'm right. Hey everybody, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Check back for more individual clips and full episodes every Monday, or you can listen wherever you enjoy podcasts. If you want to support the show and get access to special fan-only content, go to patreon.com/ITAPod. That's ITAPod, as in Is This Anything Podcast. Relevant links in the description. Take care.